Formal charges against the man suspected of attacking House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband are set to be announced today.
It comes as misinformation about the attack begins to circulate online, promoted by right-wing influencers. Jonathan Vigliotti has been following this story for us. He's joining us this morning. Jonathan, good morning.
And good morning to you, Emery and Vlad. Police say the suspect used a hammer to carry out this attack and that he was specifically seeking out Nancy Pelosi when he broke into her home early Friday morning. We are told the suspect even made his way up to the second story of that house. The Associated Press now reporting that investigators also found a bag on the scene, and inside of it, they found zip ties.
Across of Scott and Normandy.
Inside the Pelosi home, a source tells CBS News Paul Pelosi was able to call 911 after asking his alleged attacker if he could go to the bathroom. There, he reached a police dispatcher and left his phone on, giving authorities enough information to launch a quick response.
From the time the officers got the call to the attack was minutes, less than 3 minutes, I believe.
According to San Francisco's police chief, when officers arrived, they found Pelosi and 42-year-old David DePape fighting over a hammer. DePape allegedly grabbed hold and used it to strike Pelosi in the head. Both men were rushed to San Francisco General Hospital, where a source tells CBS News Pelosi remained conscious and able to talk before undergoing surgery to correct a depressed skull fracture. DePape was treated for minor injuries. Late yesterday, the San Francisco DA confirmed the attack was targeted.
Mr. DePape was, in fact, looking for Ms. Pelosi. The other thing is, we want to make it clear that there were only 2 people in the home at the time that the police arrived, Mr. Pelosi and the suspect.
Sources have told CBS News and other media DePape said, "Where is Nancy?" echoing the same language used by the January 6th Capitol Hill mob after the 2020 election. The alleged attack comes days before the midterms, when some get out the vote ads have taken direct aim at the speaker. On Face the Nation, Margaret Brennan asked the chairman of the National Republican Congressional Committee, Congressman Tom Emmer, about his gun-toting ad with the hashtag Fire Pelosi.
Why is there a gun in a political ad at all?
It wasn't an ad.
Hashtag
I was
or a
tweeting
tweet.
I was tweeting out something that I had
Hashtag
just
Fire
done.
Pelosi with a weapon.
Well, now
wouldn't a pink slip be more fitting if it's about firing her? Why don't you make it about the issues? Why not depersonalize it?
It is absolutely about the issues. It's about the fact that we have double-digit inflation.
Leaving the hospital, Paul Pelosi Jr. would only say this about his father's condition.
Any updates on your father?
So far, so good. So far, so good.
And as for the suspect, we are told he has been released from the hospital today. He is in police custody. He is facing arraignment, we're told, as early as tomorrow morning. Anne-Marie and Vlad.
So listen, Jonathan, we have been watching as the threats have been increasing against lawmakers over the past few years, and we've seen other attacks. Now we have this attack. What security policies are in place for lawmakers and for their families?
Yeah, when we talk about lawmakers like Nancy Pelosi, they travel with a security detail. Nancy Pelosi was in Washington at the time of this attack, along with her detail. Paul Pelosi, as a result, was home alone. They are not afforded the same kind of security detail that public officials do get. Whether or not that will change, especially leading up to the midterm election, I am sure that is a conversation that is unfolding. But at this point, where that stands is still unclear this morning.
So, Jonathan, as you pointed out in your piece, misinformation about the attack has circulated online, including a since-deleted tweet from Elon Musk himself. Again, somebody who is now the CEO of Twitter, where there are guidelines, essentially flouting the guidelines to post misinformation on his account. And we've also learned the suspect frequently shared far-right-wing conspiracy theories prior to the attack. So what risk does spreading this type of misinformation create? I mean, and specifically in this case, what are law enforcement officials saying about the suspect and the sort of things that he was posting online?
Well, it's incredible. It's a great question because I think for the first time we're seeing authorities really having to address a lot of this misinformation. I'm specifically talking about Elon Musk, who himself has come under fire, how he's going to handle misinformation now that he is the head of Twitter. It certainly doesn't help that he himself was responsible for spreading this misinformation, sending a tweet out yesterday specifically linking to an article on a conspiratorial website that claimed erroneously that these two men, DePape the suspect and Pelosi, previously knew each other before this attack. He deleted that tweet, but not before it got more than 100,000 likes and retweets online. We're seeing a lot of people now still spreading all of that misinformation. Public officials, authorities here going on the defense, telling us without a doubt this was an attack. It was a break-in. These two men did not know each other prior to this. And Nancy Pelosi was the intended target in this attack that happened here on Friday.
All right, Jonathan Bigliotti for us early morning. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.